everyone. This is the voice of Ife from Ifechi family. This channel, as those of you who are already subscribed knows, we talk about various things on this channel: marriage, family relationship, faith, lifestyle, health. Today, from the thumbnail, you would have known what we are going to be discussing today. A few weeks ago, I talked about law of attraction, but from a different angle. I talked about like for like. Today, I'm talking about sowing and reaping from the law of attraction, sowing and reaping. It is said that good thoughts and actions can never produce bad results. Bad thoughts and actions can never produce good results. In other words, corn will always produce corn, and nettles will always produce nettles, according to James Allen. This is a biblical concept, very simple and logical. Though simple and logical, the law is not easily understood and applied in our daily life. This principle is more true in our thoughts and actions. It is our thoughts that determine our position in life. For example, our mind versus garden, and our actions versus results. What do we think of in the morning when we wake up? And what is our daily routine like? What do we think of before we go to bed? These are very important for how our day will be. Do you know that our minds are most impressionable upon waking in the morning and just before we sleep in the night? Whatever you read, watch, think in the morning before you set out to work, or whatever you do, either positive or negative, and also what you think about before you go to sleep in the evening, will always determine how your day or how your night will be. The secret of life then is to control our mental state by controlling the seed we sow in our mind. We should not accept things like poverty, sickness, trouble, failure, either in marriage or relationship with our children, family. We should not accept these things. As a man thinketh, so he is. So we are not limited by our environment or circumstance. We create our environment and circumstances by sowing an excellent seed. This is very important. So what we sow inside us is what we're going to reap. For example, in our children, what we sow in our children is what we're going to reap. There's no point in us looking at other children or other family thinking, oh, I wish I'm like this, or my children are like that. No, you have to sow it. And yes, I know sometimes you can sow good seeds like in our children and they may go the other way, but once you are persistent and keep sowing in the sense of praying and loving that child, no matter what. Remember what the Bible says: teach the child the way they will go, and when they grow up, they will never depart from it. So no matter how many years or months or whatever they derail, with your constant prayer and love, that child will come back. So what we sow is very, very important, and we have to take these things seriously and stop looking at other people, but start sowing ourselves. What we want, let us sow it. As you sow, so shall you reap a hundredfold. If we sow honesty, we will reap trust. If we sow goodness, we will reap goodness. If we sow good friendship, we will reap good friendship. And if we sow humility, we will reap respect. And if we sow forgiveness, we will reap peace. So as you sow, so shall you reap 100-fold. That's what the Bible says as well. There's this great law which says, as we sow, so shall we reap. This is known as the law of cause and effect. Whatever we put out in the universe is what comes back to us. If we want happiness, peace, good friendship, as I said before, we have to sow them. We cannot be wicked and horrible to people, which is what we are sowing, and then we expect people to be so nice to us. No, it doesn't work that way. As you sow, so shall you reap. You will always reap what you sow. You will always harvest the consequences of your choices, according to Randy Alcorn. Consequences are inescapable and irrevocable, which means you cannot escape from it, you cannot get away from it, and it cannot be reversed. Once the consequence is there, that's it. That's why it's very important that we sow right, so that we can reap right. Some people sow all kinds of seeds by being wicked, not supporting people, not rejoicing with people who rejoice, and you expect good things to happen to you. No, it doesn't happen like that. You must sow good seed to be able to have a good harvest. The way we want people to relate with us, what we want people to do to us, let us do the same to people. We cannot be horrible, nasty, not rejoicing with people who rejoice, and when it's in fact, if we don't even rejoice with people who rejoice, it's very difficult for you to be in that situation. So it's very important that we search our minds and sow what we actually want to reap. There's no way you can sow something like yam, and during harvest you'll be harvesting plantain. No, it's not possible. Whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. So the law of sowing and reaping is very, very important, and something that we have to see to sow. If you want to reap good harvest, start sowing good seeds. There's no two ways about it. If you give negative energy out, you get it back, and vice versa. We have to guard our thoughts, because our thoughts becomes our words. Our words becomes our action, and our action becomes our reality. When we sow positive things, then we start to move in a positive way, that is moving forward. So it's time to change our thoughts and plant beautiful things in the garden of our minds. I'm not talking about, being rich or so, but actually you may not be rich, but you are very happy because you have sown, or you are sowing a good seed. So it's not all about material wealth. I'm not talking about, sowing in the sense of, I have so much money or things like that. No. Yes, it's all well and good to be financially comfortable, but that's not the kind of seed I'm talking about here. It's general seed that will actually help you to be a better person in life. In Bible, Galatians 6, verse 7, I think it says, do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. Whatever a man sows, that he will reap. So whatever a man sows, that the person will reap. So no, there's no way You cannot be deceived. You cannot deceive yourself by sowing something else and expecting something else during harvest. I want to conclude by saying that life is an echo. What you send out comes back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. What you see in others exists in you. I repeat, what you send out comes back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. What you see in others exists in you. So let's have these thoughts in our minds as we go on in life. If we have not been sowing good seeds before, we can start now. You remember, if you sow a seed now and you're watering it and you're nurturing it, it will start growing. So it's not too late for us to change the way we are sowing so that we can expect to reap very good results. It's not too late at all. In the past, whatever you have done before, the way you have sown, things you have done wrong or we have done wrong, because I'm talking about us here, we are all in it together. So whatever we have done in the past and we thought, oh, we've messed up, we've done this. No. Yes, you have. Maybe that's behind you. Start now to sow that good seed and you will reap a very, very plentiful harvest. Thank you so much once more for listening. And I'm sure we have got one or two things from today. God bless you until I come your way again, hopefully very soon. Thank you for listening. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. And if you like this video, please share it. And I also like comments and also give it a thumbs up. Thank you and goodbye.